Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the new night point of view review. In front of us is the new Citroen C5X. This is the plug-in hybrid. This is top spec, and I gotta say I love the new C5X. Very comfortable ride, but more on that inside. Checking the car at the front, we have the front LED headlights. There's a little bit of fog, you can see the beam. We have cornering fog lights as well. Checking the profile of the car, we're sitting on 19-inch alloys. Despite those, very comfortable. This is a plug-in hybrid, so in cold days such as today, gives you around 30 kilometers of range. In summer you get almost 60. So you can see big spacious cargo space. I'm gonna type in the liters because I forgot. Although you have a few cables inside, there's my bag and so on. Press here to close, or you can close it via key fob. Now let's jump inside. Very elegant car, very spacious. Now jumping inside, so you can either keep your key in the pocket, like I'm gonna do, or you could place it in the one of the cup holders. Now you have a wireless charger for your phone, so if you have a phone you can put it inside here, and there it gives you a little battery symbol when it's charging, but I think you need to turn on the car. Now just taking a look at the interior. Okay, let me just buckle up first, and let's press the start stop. Everything lightens up. Seats come to the memory position. A few airbag and seatbelt information for the passengers turns off when you start driving. Now there's a little green symbol for the battery charging. Let me just turn on, share some light so you can see the car, how it looks inside. We have a gorgeous dash, new big infotainment. This is the new Citroen, Peugeot slash Opel and all PSA Group and Jeep. So this is a new infotainment. It's faster, more responsive, although it has the same graphical user interface, but it's a little bit sharper. Now over here you can see the battery symbol there. If we open this up, you can see my phone charging. There is a little light here. It lightens up. So if I turn off the lights on the top, you can see that illuminates. Then if you close it up, I guess the light switch is off, or it's just closed and it doesn't lighten up. Okay, before I start driving, you can see if I come closer, 100%, 30 kilometers of range. Now before we head out, I'm just gonna show you with the left stalk where you have turn signals. You press on it, you can change views, so you could have this speedo with minimal view. You can press again, you can have here maps on the display, and there's 4 views. If you press again, you can have like a trip computer, and the next one would be with battery and energy flow. Now the speedo on the top is going to be blue when you're going electric and white when you're using petrol. Now if you're any of these displays, you want to see a trip, you press the right stalk, and then it gives you well, in this case in a heads-up display, fuel consumption. But if you go, for example, to this one, you're gonna see it anyway. You can still cycle with the right stalk. So over here, when I picked up the car, it was around 6.6 liters. It's down to 6.4. So this is person before me driving the car, and on the trip too I was driving the car, so the fuel consumption went down to 4.7. Now I will reset, let's see here, the first one, trip 1, hold it in, so you can see zeros. So this is going to be our to see how we're going to get a fuel consumption. Now today I was driving to Samobor city. It's just first city after Zagreb, 40 kilometers or less, maybe 20-ish, 30-ish to there and back, and I had 3.3 liters of fuel consumption, which is quite good combined, you know, city and highway. Now that's just a demo of the music. So I can't play it for too long. The speakers, I think these are the bass speakers, are quite very decent and okay sound. So let's punch it to drive and start driving. Sorry if I was a little bit longer on the introduction. Now this is the strongest horsepower version, so this has system combined 225 horsepower, so it's a 1.6 petrol with 180 horsepower, and additional electric motor with around 120 horsepower. Now speed bump. Now I'm driving in electric mode, so very comfortable. I can barely feel it. But if I switch my driving mode to comfort, there's gonna be another speed bump. It is very comfortable, and this is one of the huge advantages of this car. So this doesn't have an air suspension, but it has this new dampeners with some sort of gas struts inside, and they are allowing you maximum comfort. So on this one, yeah, it was still comfortable. Okay, there is a head-up display. I hope you can see it from your distance. It also combines map.
I found 3 results. The first one is head-up.
Apparently Siri has turned on for whatever reason. I haven't pressed anything, but let me just do it like this. It's not on even. Okay, so if you go to apps here, and if you check Apple CarPlay, you can see the full screen has Apple CarPlay, and there it is. Now you can choose here Google Maps, you can choose a better route planner, so you can see where the charging stations are, and it's nice and beautiful. Now 225 horsepower, this speeds up very fast. You can get 180 horsepower hybrid version, or the plug-in hybrid version, or you could choose the very poor 100 horsepower petrol, and I think there's like 175 also petrol that doesn't have automatic. This is an 8-speed automatic. It has something, I think it's some sort of manual. I didn't quite get that. I didn't go to the press conference because I was in Paris, so I didn't get to ask that question, and I got this car very briefly. Didn't have really enough time to prepare for this. I hope you can see the heads-up display better now. It's really beautiful because it's combined with the maps. If you change display here, you can see minimal. You can see here one of these. I know there was an option. So this one, with the maps, you don't see the maps on the heads-up display. You can only see the speedo. Then you can see the maps in your virtual cockpit. This is all quite simple to use once you get to know it. Now, I was coasting until now. I've pressed B for recuperation. So since this is half electric car, I personally like to use braking mode or the recuperation mode. because it allows you to drive with one pedal. So you just keep the accelerator, and then when you want to slow down, you just let your foot go, and then it starts to brake or deaccelerate. You don't have to use the actual brakes. If for the regular audience my voice is some sort of funny, I did have a cold, so I'm just like recovering. So my voice might sound a little bit deeper. Now it's a very foggy days in Zagreb here in Croatia. I have my fogs on, don't worry. We also have cornering fog lights, which is a nice feature. Now, this car, again, one of the best qualities of this car is it's so comfortable, it is spacious, and it has a good cargo volume. It's also a lift back, so it's very practical if you need to put some stuff, and it's a very practical family car. Now, I'm a little bit disappointed that I have it for a really short time, like only for 12 hours to test. I already did a full in-depth review on Lyon Auto Show, so if you want to check that out. I'm not sure if I will be able to review this specific car, although I think it's exactly the same color, interior, exterior wise, and exactly the same spec. But if you check my Lyon review, this car is amazing. Build quality is amazing. The seats are very comfortable. I didn't even adjust my ideal position, but it is very good. This is flashing, so I think it's gonna move the phone, and then it starts to, yeah, there you go. Now it's charging when it's green. Now this speeds up when you're in hybrid or electric so fast, it's quite joyful to drive. Although it has a little bit of advantages. Sometimes the petrol, when you want to drive faster, kicks in, and it's a little bit jumpy because, you know, the car doesn't know when it wants to switch from electric to petrol, and then there's a little lag between transition area. Also, the brakes are a little bit sensitive when you're braking, so you have to develop a nice feeling for that. Now if you accelerate a little bit faster like I did now, you can see the petrol engine has turned on, or you can hear it. Now let's talk a little bit about the interior. The build quality is definitely on high standard. It feels premium. There's a lot of soft touch materials on the dash. The screen is now finally nice and sharp. I really like that part, and I like the fact that you have physical AC controls, and you have really a good feeling inside on a premium level, and it's very ergonomic and comfortable as well at the same time. Now if you go to the energy here flow, you can see the car battery, and there is something called e-save here. Now you can turn this off or on, and if you turn the e-save, it will turn on the petrol engine, and if your battery is low and you don't have a charging station, it will charge the battery, but it will increase your fuel consumption, and in that case you won't be very happy with your fuel consumption. So this car, as every plug-in hybrid, is intended that you have a plug at home and that you charge it overnight or over a day if you're at work. So have in mind, if you are planning to buy such vehicle, you need to have a charging infrastructure either at home or work. Over here you can see the fuel consumption, 1.3 liter, or how many kilowatts have we used in power. So I'm just gonna switch quickly to check the fuel consumption. So our current fuel consumption is 1.3. I'm not sure if you can see that on the head-up, so let me just change that here. So 1.3 liters past 6 kilometers. And we're getting on the highway. Now I'm gonna punch it here and accelerate a little bit faster. Now it accelerates with such an ease. Our fuel consumption went a little bit higher and it's still rising. Now this is such a stable car. If you go harsh in the corners, it really keeps the road good. Now road noise up to 130, it's very moderate. A bit higher on 150. Now let's switch to the sport mode. I'm gonna lower my speed to 100. Now 100, almost no wind noise, at least not so serious. You can mostly hear tires. I'm gonna punch it here. Now it's very responsive and fast, but considering the weather conditions and the fog, we gotta keep it low. I just wanted to show you the acceleration kick. So a lot of power for overtaking and a little bit of both for those who like to drive you know, fast and hear some petrol sound, or if you want to drive nice and silent and drive electric. And if I switch to hybrid, the car will decide usually if it wants to use petrol or electric. Now if I start deaccelerating, there's no one behind me, so it might switch to electric. And there you go. So this is electric. Now it can drive up to 130 electric, but I think it has its own conditions. So right now, for example, it is you know, using petrol. Now you have the lane assist. You can adjust the distance. On the cruise settings, on the right hand, excuse me, left hand on the steering wheel. But to be honest, I really haven't played with the speedo. You can actually see it in the head-up display. So I've put it to 100 speed limit, and let me see here if I can change this to the. Okay, in this version you can see we're using our thermic engine. That's what they're calling it now in Croatia. It's a petrol engine. You can see the flow there. So let me just see here. So you can see the heads-up display. I hope you can see it. I try to adjust that. You can see like the distance. You can see the speed. So you can adjust that. It's quite nice. This car is very nicely packed with technology and safety, all the safety features that you would have in a modern car. Now, a light tap on the brake disengages. Now, since the battery is 82%, 24 kilometers of range, it is not recuperating a lot, so I'll have to use the brakes. I wish it had maybe 2 levels of recuperation. I usually like to have the highest setting for maximum efficiency. Change that display to... Okay, so with our little highway run and little acceleration, we've almost got to current consumption up almost 5 liters, but I can see it's starting to drop a little bit. Now we won't look at the consumption. I'm gonna put something else. I'm gonna see the car flow. So you can see now using petrol, but if I let go of the accelerator, it switches. It's now charging the battery. Now even the wheels are charging the battery. So it's using both the electric motor to charge it and front wheels brakes to charge the battery, which is efficient. Now if you like, you can have this minimal display. Now I'm driving in the left lane because I'm gonna move, excuse me, I'm gonna turn to the left, but okay, I'm gonna move. On the bridge that I've passed, there's constructions, 2 lanes, middle and the left are open. So maybe this car would be a little bit cooler if it has a little bit of ambient lights, but it's only next to the digital cockpit. But I don't think it looks bad. Sometimes for some people ambient lights are intrusive and they like them to be minimal or not to have them. See, a little brake, it's a bit sensitive. It just wants to jump forward and the car dives a little bit down. Now I would usually test like 0 to 100, but since the conditions are not that good, I'm gonna skip it this time. It's supposed to be in 7.9 seconds, basically 8 seconds, which is not too shabby, but also not anything exciting, to be honest. At least when you drive, you know, a Tesla like I do. I'm just like giving you a comparison. Before, I used to get excited about 8 seconds. It felt fast because I had a 10-second car to 0 to 100. Yeah, it would definitely not be safe accelerating here. I'm not expecting people or cars, but there are animals in this part, so like foxes, rabbits. Wouldn't be cool to run an animal over and do damage on the front. We're gonna go to the part where there are no street lights to check these LED lights. Now this is the main beam, but you know, it's foggy, so not the best day to actually show the LED performance, which I usually do in my car reviews. But I have my routine. Okay, I'm gonna slow down here. And so this is the GoPro long beam. Yeah, I'm gonna take my iPhone and just show you how the LED lights look more in person. So this is the iPhone camera. It's a bit foggy, but the beam is quite good. And then this is the long beam. Now, sorry, it's just foggy, so I really can't show you much more, but I think the LED lights when I was in the city during day, or excuse me, sunset, they were quite okay. So we're gonna head up to our garage and let's do a little search here, show you the navigation. It's not giving me here down options, which I want to see, but it is. Oh, it's here. Okay, Avenue Mall. Yeah, parking is good. And drive. So it tells you the time you'll get there. So it gives you alternate route options. Now I'm gonna, just press drive on the one you want. Now if I switch here display to navigation, you can see it both. So there's some traffic today or tonight. Now you can see both displays, but let's check this one. So you can see it in the head-up display. It's quite nice. We're going to do a little tunnel run. It's usually 60 here. Now the Croatians won't respect that speed limit. As you can see, they're rushing to overtake. I'm gonna move to the right lane. So I'm really impressed with the heads-up display. It has a nice map overview. I know there's an option to turn the maps off, not just depending on the one screen display or cockpit view. Okay, now if you want to switch to something else here, just gonna change lanes. If you want to see energy flow here, now it doesn't give you the, actually it does, so you can see the flow there. Braking, so you can see both displays. There we go. I mean, you can change this so you can see the map as well. You can have both. Now it's time to wrap up the review. So C5X plug-in hybrid, I gotta say I'm really impressed with Citroen, and the C5X is such a comfortable drive. It is packed with technology. It is very comfortable in the interior. I love the design. It is from the outside a little bit extravagant. It has that little French touch, and I think this is a pretty cool car. If you're looking for this car, I think you're gonna fall in love with this car. Just, you know, knowing French people, I know they're very passionate about French cars, and Citroen, Peugeot, they all sell you know, most cars at home in France. So I think you know, in Europe, France is going to be their main market, not Germany definitely, or they're going to sell a few cars in Croatia. But if you are one of those people who love French cars and, you know, were never into, see that guy's having trouble catching up with me, but I wasn't even trying to race him. I just heard him in the background. I wanted to show you the engine here kicking in, so you can see that flow. Oh, there's a really cool Skoda Enyaq with illuminated grille behind me. Anyways, going to the garage now. Sorry, got a little distracted there. So this car is such a comfortable, it's luxury. I would call this a French S-Class. Now, if you're looking at the DS, you know, DS9 is like also like a French S-Class, but from the DS. You know, but this is Citroen's S-Class. So it's weird looking for the windshield when you have head-up display and the displayed information looks like it's floating below the ramp. Now we're here before they switched to power saving mode. Now there's a charging station here that's new, but I do not need charging. That one's paid. I have a free one in my neighborhood. So I'm gonna park it. Okay, let's do another turn. I want to do a little walk around outside in the garage so you can see the car a little bit better. Also, the car has a very good turning radius, so if you want to do a U-turn, it is very much possible and easy to do. So actually, yeah, let's do it here. I wanted to change it, but this is all right. Okay. Before I park, to show the reverse camera, it is sharper than on other Citroen models, and the display is sharp, but they've been using lousy cameras in the past, but now they've used a little bit better sharpness, maybe HD camera instead of like 180 instead of 720. So you can see that very, very good, very functional as well. So once again, definitely recommend this car. Now, some of you who are not a fan of plug-in hybrids, I know there's those people as well. There is that petrol version with, I think, 175 horsepower. There's going to be a link in the video description for this specific model. So if you go to that web page and you go check the CX-5, you're going to see all the engine options there are. Yeah, don't forget your keys, your valuables inside the car. So we've used, just a minute. So we've passed 25 kilometers, spent 3.3 liters, as I've said at the beginning of the video. That was my also fuel consumption combined when I was driving city plus highway. And we've spent we're at 59% of battery. We started with 100%. It was on display what I've started filming, 2% less, but it said 30 kilometers of range. So cutting this in, you can see 0% of battery, 0 range. You're still driving electric. It's cold outside, 11 degrees, but we managed to pass 50 kilometers on a full charge, and fuel consumption is still dropping, so really impressed. And that was it. Let's get out. So just to show you the car a little bit on daylight, I mean not a daylight but better light, this is some sort of a green metallic color. Not my favorite, but it's good for country if you live in the country. So you know, Citroen decided to use a few of those. You can use the key to show you the to see the LED taillights. They look amazing with this 3D look. Saw the turn signals, and just to show you the front LEDs, also cool looking. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna hopefully see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, click the little bell to get notified when I upload new videos. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye.